Felipe Massa attended the Spanish Grand Prix recently, paid a visit to his old team Williams, but I'd have to wonder, when he was sat in the back of the garage watching the team struggle round at the back of the field, he must have been thinking, thank goodness they didn't keep me on for 2018. What on earth is going on with Williams at the moment?
Well, I think Felipe Massa would also have been quite sad to see the situation evolving at his old team. It's sad for all Formula 1 fans that Williams are stuck at the back, bottom of the Constructors' Championship, really struggling. It seems this season they've gone for quite an aggressive Aero concept change on their car after maybe being a bit too conservative in previous seasons. Doesn't look like it's working. And when you're a team like Williams that's struggled for results previously, you don't have the same budget coming in, it's hard to correct that course very quickly if you pick the wrong one in the first place. And then in the meantime, they've gone for young, inexperienced drivers. They're perhaps not so adept at feeding back exactly what's wrong with that car. Maybe they don't know. And I think it's just creating this vicious cycle for Williams, really, that at the moment it doesn't look like they're going to get out of anytime soon.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there are any quick fixes on the horizon. Scott, Alexander Wurz has always been very close to Williams over the last decade or so, and he gave quite a detailed description over the weekend of some of the problems they're facing with the car. What did you make of his assessment?
Unfortunately, what they've done is added a load of downforce that gives them a load of drag on the straights, but sheds it all when they get to the corner.
So the 2007 Honda concept.
Yeah, exactly. So what Wurz has said is that basically they have a stall at the diffuser. So for some reason, they don't know. This is the problem. They've identified what they think is the problem, but they don't know the cause of it yet. So basically, the drivers don't have the confidence to lean on the car, and the closer they get to the limit, the more the car starts to bite, which goes along with not having that rear downforce that they should have. It's really difficult when they're in that situation to know what the solution is. They've got this recovery program in place, and the idea is that the aerodynamic parts that they've started to produce or will be producing to try and fix the problem are coming, and they will be here in theory before the summer break, but they're not being specific just near the summer break. So maybe it won't be until Germany or Hungary that we actually start to see the signs of real progress.
And are we talking new parts that will continue to follow the concept of the 2018 car, but maybe just get it right? Because the fundamental concepts they've gone after, and perhaps the front-running cars that they've tried to copy, there's nothing wrong with those ideas. It's just it's such a big change for Williams to the car they've been developing for so many seasons before that it's clearly just too much, it seems, at once for the team to get on top of.
If you fix the fundamental problem, then it will have a knock-on effect that it'll unlock one piece which has, again, a knock-on effect, and it will allow the other bits that aren't really working properly at the moment to sort of come together in unison. And in theory, then we'll start to see the real potential of the car if it's really there.
Yeah. Now, Ben, another man who's in the Williams garage on race weekends is Robert Kubica. To some people, he is the answer to all of the problems. Scott mentioned the inexperienced drivers and the feedback they're giving that does tally with what we think is wrong with the car. Is Kubica the answer here, or would he be struggling just as much? He obviously made his FP1 return to Grand Prix weekend action at Barcelona, and he wasn't very complimentary about the car. So would he be struggling round at the back as well, even if he was given a race drive?
I think so, yes. I think Williams were probably hoping that he would be the answer, that they could take the two young drivers with bigger backing behind them and use Kubica to kind of augment the gaps that their lack of experience
in terms of feedback.
Up. Exactly, yeah. But the trouble Kubica has is that he's been out of Formula 1 for so long, and he said this after his Abu Dhabi Pirelli test. Formula 1's changed so much, he's got to get his head round all of these new systems, new tyres, new cars, the way everything works, and he doesn't have as much seat time as them. So Kubica's on his own journey of trying to re-find his old form, rediscover his limits, test his abilities. He's not really a plug-in and play, absolutely, I know everything that's going on with these cars driver. So you've got three guys, really, who don't know everything that's going on, and you've got a team that's been aggressive with its car, but doesn't really know where the problems are coming from exactly and has overreached. So you've got a combination on both sides, I think.
Scott, would it be expecting too much of Kubica to say that he can answer all of the questions Williams have got with this car?
I think so, definitely. Gary Anderson has a favoured method of ranking the cars, the super time, where you take the fastest individual lap done by each team over the course of a weekend, express it as a percentage. And Williams is at the bottom of that pile. It is fundamentally the slowest car. Kubica is not going to come in and change that. He was half a second off the best driver from the next team in FP1 in Barcelona. So the car's just not there.
What I will add to that, though, is the problem Williams do have is not qualifying very well, and that pure pace comparison that Scott mentions comes from the pure pace the car shows in qualifying. Stroll showed last year that he wasn't very good on Saturdays compared to teammate Felipe Massa. Sirotkin's a new driver. Qualifying is always the hardest part for new drivers when they come into Formula 1, getting the most out of the tyres on that one lap. So I don't think we absolutely know where the potential of the Williams current package is, even though we accept it's a difficult car to drive. I agree, I don't think Kubica's the answer, because I think he's still working out how to get lap time out of these cars. What I think Williams did need, and I think Paddy Lowe was kind of pushing for this at the end of the last season, is an experienced driver in the car on race days as a reference point. I don't think they've got that at the moment, accepting that obviously Kubica is an experienced driver, just not in current Formula 1.